To the people that told us to get hobbies instead of dating, thank you. This is my milk bread. I made this myself with all of the time that I'm not wasting on somebody's crusty
Whoa, hey.
I used to rate all the men that I went on dates with in an Excel spreadsheet kind of as a game, and I...
Stop it. Get some help.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the desert. Holy crap, we are back, gentlemen. We are back at my place, back in the desert. You thought that today I won't post, but you're not getting a day off, guys. We have to cover the cringe. And for article story, guys, a woman feels insecure to go on a date alone with a man, so she calls her sister, and the man ends up falling in love with the sister. So we'll take a look at that hilarious article. But first, let's start with this woman, guys, as I have some very fantastic TikToks to show you.
I just saw this video of this guy that was like, if you knew there were 5 other people that wanted to date you and they were attractive, they had all the qualities that you're looking for, they would treat you like a queen. If you knew that, would you still be dating that person that you're dating? Of course, I was like, yeah, 100%. I would choose Jacob in every single room, in every single lifetime. He is my person. No one else will ever compare. But it did get me thinking about all the other people I've dated in my life, and if I was dating any of them, I would be like, hell yeah, I'm already looking for something better. If you are in that place where you are looking for something better, or if a better person came along, you might break up with the person that you're with. I promise you 1,000,000,000% you are not with the right person, and you need to break up with that person right now in order to attract the true love of your life.
Well, how do you feel about that? And she started the video, guys. Two things here. She starts the video saying, imagine if you knew there were 5 other people that wanted to date you. Alright, but you don't know that, right? It's the thing with these women, they are delusional, and they really think that they have doors open. They really think that they have other options and that the grass is greener somewhere else. When in reality, you don't have 5 other people that want to date you. Granted, you have 500 people that want to get between your legs. Not the same thing, though. You know, a lot of these harpies, guys, they should be thankful that they have one simp who is willing to stick with them. They should be on their knees, begging for him not to leave. Instead, they think that the grass is greener, and they keep switching partners all the time until eventually they end up single, right? But gentlemen, let's please take a look at a comment that has over 20,000 likes. Says, I've always said this, if you feel like you can find better, then you can. Well, what do you think about that, guys? It's that easy. If you think you can find better as women, absolutely you can. I guess this is why we see so many women ending up single and absolutely miserable, right? And this is what I think, guys, is that these women, they absolutely deserve to end up single, alone, bitter, sad, and miserable. They absolutely deserve it. And I think this is why all of you guys keep coming back to the channel, because when you think about it, we cover the same things. Like, really, it's different women, they phrase it in a different way, but it's always more or less the same, you know? Like, there are not 500 reasons why women nowadays pass away alone. There are 2 or 3 main reasons, and this is one of them: that they are delusional, that their expectations are unreal, they are detached from reality, right? So it's the same thing, but there's just something so sweet about seeing these women get clapped in the face by reality. Alright, like, it's very enjoyable to see the wall smash these women. After so many years of thinking that they are God's gift to the earth, after so many years of playing dudes, messing around with them, you know? Like, I recently saw this Instagram video of an athlete. It was a black guy who was competing in a race. He was a runner, and he became very arrogant, right? So he was about to win. He was first. And then he started, you know, laughing, pointing at himself, doing little gestures, you know. So he was bragging about winning. And as he did that, he stumbled and he fell. Right as he was kissing his own arse, he stumbled and he fell. And this was a few steps before the finish line. So he was first, but because he decided to brag about it and, you know, oh, look at me, I'm so good, he fell and he finished last, guys. And this post had millions of likes because people in general, both men and women, they like to see arrogant people, narcissistic people get humbled. Whether they be a man or a woman, it's really not about gender. So this is why, guys, it's just so sweet to see these women getting slapped back to reality, alright? Getting a cold, firm slap on the face by Mother Nature, by reality, and by the wall. So we will leave them with their unreal expectations and their high standards, and we'll just watch the show, gentlemen. Bring popcorn. But now, let's move on to our next TikTok, gentlemen.
I used to rate all the men that I went on dates with in an Excel spreadsheet kind of as a game, and I just found it and I wanted to share this with you guys. So I did this for fun, but I was talking to my therapist about it, and she was saying that this is really great for people who have like an anxious attachment style. It's a really great way of like removing yourself a little bit and actually seeing how the date was and kind of taking the emotion out of it.
All right, two things again. First off, is literally every woman in society seeing a therapist? Because if that's the case, guys, I'm just gonna become a therapist, all right? Like, if 50% of the population go to a therapist, I think that's a good job. Second thing, therapy, guys. I do believe in therapy, but therapy is for real problems. Like, for example, post-traumatic disorder. You know, people who have gone to wars, they have seen some very messed up crap, and they really have a mental problem, alright? Their brain is damaged, and they need therapy to fix that. I believe that therapy is real. I believe that therapy can help, just like a doctor can help you physically, a therapist can help you mentally. When you have a real issue, though, because these, brain paths that are created, these brain roads, let's say, that are created with people who have mental problems, you know, they need to rearrange their brain, and that takes a lot of effort. You can't do that on your own. You need a professional. It also applies to people who have been S3 actually abused at a young age. These people are also mentally damaged, and they need a professional. But these girlies, guys, the 18-year-old girlie that goes to the therapist because her boyfriend broke up with her, okay? Her boyfriend of 2 months broke up with her. What do you expect him to do? You know? This is like going to a doctor and telling him that your tummy hurts. You know? Like, he'll probably tell you, I don't know, drink water. I don't know. You know, it's like, what do you expect these people to do when you tell them this little inconvenience in your life that is not a problem, it's not a mental condition, it's not nothing, and you're going there on a weekly basis? Like, these therapists, guys, they absolutely know that these women are helpless and there's nothing to be done about their little insignificant problems. But hey, they get a paycheck, so why will they care? You know? Go to a therapist. I'm all for it. I've went to a therapist. I went for like 2 months or so. I shared with that therapist a few things in my life, you know, family issues and all that. And to be honest, I got a new perspective on things, you know, which was helpful. And I got to know his opinion and all that, and it was actually helpful. But I went for 2 months, and after that, there was nothing more to say, you know. I realized all throughout that I don't need years of therapy to fix, like, family problems or whatever. So, you know what I mean, guys? Like, the people who need a therapist are people who are very damaged and have some real problems. But life problems, like your boyfriend leaving you or you being unable to date, is not something that you go to a therapist for 2 years. You know what I mean, guys? Like, there's a clear distinction between those two things. But what do you think about that? And holy crap, I talked for so long, I forgot what the second point is. Let's rewind it.
Really great for people who have like an anxious attachment style.
Ah, yes, my favorite, anxious attachment style. Now, guys, whether you believe it or not, I love psychology. I really like it. I've read many books, have thought about, you know, psychology and its practical aspects. But I'm more old-fashioned when it comes to psychology. So I like the stuff that is real and has some meaning and some theory behind it. Not these new terms that have come, that have come about, like avoidant and anxious. Like, maybe I'm stupid and I don't understand it. So if you guys do, please let me know. But what does avoidant mean? Oh, well, it's someone who doesn't necessarily feel the need to overshare constantly and doesn't like to blabber incessantly. So a man, in other words, and doesn't need validation. So a man, basically. And what is anxious attachment style? Well, it's a person who likes to talk about and likes to externalize the problems and talk about them and likes to feel validated and reassured. So a woman, in other words, right? It's just what it is, guys. Every time they bring it up, you're just referring to a man or to the standard average man or woman. You don't need another word for it. But anyway, guys, and let's continue.
Way of like removing yourself a little bit and actually seeing how the date was and kind of taking the emotion out of it. Let me show you how it's not really like a game. It's kind of just like for data purposes, but let me show you how I did all this. Essentially, there's a bunch of questions and then you rank them anywhere from a 1 to a 3. And the very end, you compile their score, you average it out. So the goal is to get as close to a 1 as possible. Like, you want the lowest amount of score possible, so a 1. So if the answer to the question was good or yes or like something positive, it was a 1. If it was neutral, if the experience was average, or if it was like that's a 2. And then if the answer to the question is no, or it was a bad experience, it was 3, right? So you want to get as many 1s as possible. So these are the questions that I chose. I actually made this with one of my friends, so some of these questions are ones that she chose that necessarily aren't that important to me, and vice versa for her as well. These questions are based off a couple things. For me, I made them based off of compatibility, attraction, and chivalry. I also think there was another 4th one that I put. I had ChatGPT help me with some of these questions to come up.
All right, gentlemen, let's pause and read. I will read them off the screen, so I think some of them are missing, but I won't read them all. But basically, did he plan the date? So here she starts with planning, scheduling things. Is he a good texter? Did he confirm the date? So planning. Here we have some actions of chivalry, like did he open the door? Did he pay for the date? Did he tip well? What a bullshit reason, guys. Tipping, I don't tip. I mean, I tip because it's societally accepted, but I don't tip much. And look, this is worth mentioning, all right? But tipping, nobody really knows why we are tipping. Like, there's no reason behind it. And if you look at the history of why tips exist, they had a whole different meaning that doesn't apply today. So my belief is that your boss should pay your paycheck and not me, the client, the customer, And nowadays, everybody wants a tip, all right? Everybody wants a tip. I work in finance, as I've mentioned. Nobody is giving me a tip, all right? When I talk with some shareholder or whatever, some person who is invested in the business, I don't send him an email afterwards. Hey, did you enjoy our conversation? Why don't you send me $5? Because then he will say, what in the flying hell crap do I need to send you $5 for? Right? And I say, oh, because you tip. No, wait a minute, my boss pays my paycheck. So what's the difference with all the other people who get paychecks, all right? Oh, but they don't earn enough. Well, that's their boss problem. What should the customer pay? He's already paying for the delivery, for this, for that, for the other thing. The tip is probably included in the price anyways. Oh, but the boss gets it. So the boss pays less than he should to his workers, and I have to overcompensate that. I don't know, guys. Make it make sense. Not really enjoying the tipping model. Not because I don't have money or I don't want these people to feel good or give them something extra. No, I do tip because, hey, they've done their job, and I'm not gonna be an a-hole about it, right? But I don't understand this whole tip thing. But guys. Sorry, I blabbered too much today. Let's continue. So we're talking about actions, right? These are some actions. What's this next thing? Did he pay attention to you during the day? Did he ask good questions? So again, these are sort of like behaviors, actions. Was he a good driver? Did he smell nice? Was the place nice? So again, maybe some, I don't know, actions or things like this. Moving on, she has them in bunches, right? This one is, did we laugh and have a good time? So this is more compatibility. Was there good chemistry and mutual attraction? You know, women, they love their chemistry, guys. They just love their chemistry. Did he only show green flags? So again, this is behavioral compatibility. Can I envision physical attraction to him? Yada, yada, yada. And here ends the list. Was the kiss good? Did he send I can barely read that. Did he send a thank you text? Yada, yada. Would you go on a second date? So, what are these? Like 45, guys. 45 different criteria. Notice what's missing, guys. Did you notice what's missing? There is absolutely nothing in regards to the most important thing, which is his moral background, his principles, his objectives in life, and his moral background. All right, there is no, does he treat his family right, or does he love animals, does he show empathy, what is his relationship with his inner circle of friends, you know, does he believe in God, or what morals does he abide by, or, you know, what is his end goal in life, you know, the things that really matter, guys. There is nothing about that, nothing. You freaking put on a list, did he tip well, and you didn't put one of the most basic and important things. All right, and these are not preferences, guys. All right, wanting to know your couple's moral background, this is not a preference. This is not something that men fancy more than women or something like this. Both genders should be really valuing that topic a lot, right? Because it's the most important thing. His moral background, his view on life, his morals and ethics, and how he treats other people and how he views them. That's the most important thing. And she has mentioned none of that. And then these women wonder why they are single. Meanwhile, they make these long ass lists with like 50 things on them, and all of them are bullshit. They are all bullshit, guys. Like, they are, I don't know, maybe a little important, but these things, guys, was he a good driver? Really? Is that what you care about? Like, you make a list of whether he was a good driver? Holy crap, man. I do not understand how these women can be so far off some basic common knowledge and understanding of relationships. But now, guys, let's continue with this stupid list.
Up with them. Essentially what you do is you would put their name there, and then you would rate them based off all the questions. At the very bottom, it would compute your score, and of course you want it closer to 1. So the person that was a 1.37 was a much better date than the person that was a 2.02. These are some dates that I went on. You guys have been watching me. There was one date that I ran away from the guy on. That was this date. If you were to do this yourself, you can choose whatever questions you want. Like some questions like, did he plan the date? If he did, yes, that's a 1. Did he open your car door? Sometimes that's not applicable. I can never pronounce applicable, whatever, you know what I mean. It doesn't apply.
Applicable.
Maybe you met there, maybe you walked there, so there wasn't an opportunity for him to open any car doors, so you wouldn't answer that question, so it doesn't impact your score. Like this little gray thing, like that didn't apply right there, so that doesn't impact the score. I mean, the bare minimum, but like, did he make eye contact with you? Was he nice to the waiter or waitress? Did he pay attention to you on the date? I've been on dates that men like were watching a football game and not at all paying attention to me. Questions like, did we have common interests, shared hobbies? Did we laugh and have a good time? Do I feel comfortable being around him? Did we have similar values or beliefs that were evident during?
Oh, right, there's actually, guys, there's actually one line. Sorry, I missed it. Maybe her face was on it and I didn't read it. All right, so there is one line talking about the values. All right. I'm gonna cut her some slack. You know, guys, let's hear that again. I cannot believe it.
Similar values or beliefs that were evident during the date, and if like that never came up, you wouldn't answer that, right? The thing with these questions is you have to make the answer.
And that's literally it, all right? Like, I read the one above and the one beneath that, thinking that, hey, maybe there are 2 or 3 that I missed. No, that's the one, right? So she spends one line talking about the values that they share or do not share, which literally makes or breaks a relationship. And then she spends like the next 4 to 7 lines talking about, did we have good chemistry? Were his shoes matching with his shirt? Holy crap.
Answer to them have yes be something positive. So like, does he only show green flags? Like, you wouldn't say does he show red flags, because a yes would be a 1 and you don't want negative answers to be ones, right? Does that make sense? Did I catch myself admiring their appearance of the date? Can I envision physical attraction growing as I get to know them? Did we kiss? If we kissed, was it good? Did you go on a second date? Like, I think these are all really great data things, especially when you're first starting to talk to someone. If you've been like talking to them for longer, it's great to come back to this. Did the person show genuine interest in trying to get to know me? I cannot tell you the amount of dates that I've been on where they just did not seem like they cared to get to know me at all, and they just like wanted to talk about themselves and did not ask me a single question. These are some of my scores of dates that I've been on. This is really fun to do, especially if you're doing it with another single friend. Just like see how your date went. Like my friend would go on a date and then I'd be like, how'd your date go? I'm like, oh, I'll just look at the Excel. I'll just look at the spreadsheet.
How did your date go? Oh well, he scored a score of 2.03766932. Oh, that's actually better than mine, which scored a 1.76532. Oh, did he tip well? No, he only tipped $5. I'm not seeing this guy again. And there's a slider, guys. I don't know if you can see this. Let me bring it up a bit so you can see the slider. Because these are her dates. The rows are the questions and the columns are the dates. So you may think, how many do we see on screen? We see 8, right? We see 8 dates on screen, but here is the slider. Do you see it in the to the left side of Ampu's tail? Look at the slider, man. Like, if you take that slider and you slide it to the right, they're not going to be 8. They're probably going to be, what is it? Like 20-something dates, all these scores, all these clinically insane tables, and you're still single. Like, what's the matter with that? Holy crap, guys. It's actually terrifying. Like, can you imagine for a moment that currently, as you're watching this video, you are part of some insane woman's spreadsheet, right? There's something creepy about that. And it's so dehumanizing. Like, all these people, guys, they're just names on an Excel file. All right. And treating this like it's a business. Oh, come on, guys. Apply and I'll, you know, we know how women feel about interviews. Like, they will go on dates and it's just an interview to know how much you earn and yada yada, and to evaluate you. And they're dating like 7 people at a time. Now this is another form of degeneracy, which is making spreadsheets about these men. So dehumanizing. Dating apps are dehumanizing, tables are dehumanizing, interviews are dehumanizing. Like, these women expect us to apply for a job that is a relationship, and they treat us like they're our managers. So I don't know, I guess it's on topic, but holy crap, man. Now, crazy to think, guys, but back in my day, 4,000 years ago, we didn't need spreadsheets, all right? Like, people didn't need a Word document to be able to make a difference between the good compatible people and the bad ones, all right? And things were way more natural, and people just have an instinct. Just follow your gut, all right? This instinct that you have is there for a reason. Now, granted, a lot of these women have lost their instinct because they have actively been choosing the wrong guys over the good guys. So now they're addicted to anxiety and they're alpha widowed and they're following all the toxicity around. So their gut feeling is no longer valuable, but a spreadsheet won't help you, madam. As we can see, she's still single. Gentlemen, let's get the hell away from that spreadsheet. I don't want to see it again. And let's move on to our article story, which is quite hilarious. And guys, after this article story, I gotta share a personal story with you that is, again, going to lose some reputation on my side, but well. The title is, "She brought her sister to a date, now I like her sister. This is going to be wild, but I went on a date with someone my age, 27. As it was a first date, she brought her sister. It was weird, I thought, at first, but she was uneasy as we met online and wanted her to be there. Her sister left us alone for the most part, and we got along. Towards the end, we all got dessert together and we all chatted. Her sister, 33 and single. However, I started feeling a connection with her sister as we overtook the conversation. It's kinda weird now. I like her sister." My date did say, "Our date went fine and she wants to meet again." I'm in two minds. Is this actually a English expression, or is this guy just... No, English is not his first language. My date did say... So he's torn, right? my date did say that after her sister told me I was really nice, clever and sweet. So you don't know if she's just being polite about it or she actually likes him. But well, how the turntables. Hey guys, well, what do you think about this story? But now guys, let me share a personal story that happened to me that also involves people bringing to a date. Now, when I was young and stupid and green and naive, so like 4,000 years ago, I went with a woman. I invited her to the cinema. Now, you may ask, Hidan, 4,000 years ago, there was no cinema. Guys, don't question the narrative, alright? Just hear me out. I invited her to the cinema, and I swear, guys, you're probably not gonna believe me and say, Hidan, you're being too sus. But no, for real, I had absolutely no intentions with this woman. I didn't want her to be my girlfriend, nor did I want to kiss her or anything, so really there was nothing. And you may ask, well, why did you invite her to the cinema then? Well, I don't know, guys, because I was young and stupid, alright? I don't know. But I invited her to the cinema, probably as friends, but you know, it was a bit suspicious. On our date, I also gifted her a plushie, which was a polar bear with a scarf. I don't know, I'm a Don Juan, guys, a very romantic guy. But here comes the cringe, alright? So, we were there at the cinema. We already paid for our tickets, and we were waiting at the lobby. And suddenly, her 3 female best friends appear, guys. And of course, when I knew them, when I saw them, I of course knew that she brought them there. But the cringe comes because of the way she tried to play it out. So I was sitting there, looking at my feet, looking down, and suddenly I hear her say, "Oh wow, it can't be." It's so cheesy. And I look upwards and I see her, literally 3 female best friends, alright? Coincidentally, guys. And coincidentally, they all showed up at the same cinema for the same movie at the same hour. I know, guys, what are the odds, eh? So she went there and she said, "What? It's you girls? Wow, what are the odds?" Something like this. Very, very cheesy. And they were like, "What? You here? What are you doing here? I didn't know you will be here." So cringe. So, of course, I knew what was the deal, but I was like, "Oh, what a coincidence, eh?" And coincidentally, also, guys, they coincidentally sit 2 rows, before, 2 rows after us. So they were watching us the whole time. Wow, what are the odds, eh, guys? She brought like her 3 female best friends to be bodyguards. I know what this woman expected, that I would kiss her or something, that I will do something. I don't know why the hell she invited them. Maybe she felt threatened, guys, by me. I don't know. But it's so cringe. No, you may say, Hidan, why are you inviting women you are not interested in to the cinema? Why are you doing this? You are cringe. Yes, guys, I was cringe. I was young and cringe and stupid. I mean, we've all been. But I think of that and I'm ashamed. But then I think about the other people who are way more cringe than me. Like inviting your 3 friends to the cinema and then playing it out in this absolutely cheesy and stupid way. Very bad. Very bad theatrical performance. But guys, we'll leave it there. I just wanted to share that story with you in regards to this one that we read. And hey, you let me know if you have any cringe stories of your own. I'll read them. I'll be happy to read them, guys. Come on, don't let me be the only one who is sharing some some embarrassing stuff. But guys, thank you for joining. Thank you for making Ampus Day better. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.